it looked like a draw to me, right? Based off of the point deduction from the ref to Isak. So that point deduction obviously wasn't I don't think it was real anyway, because when he deducted that point, or when they deducted that point, Isak hit him on his hip. It wasn't a low blow. He hit him on his side. It looked like it was a legal blow. So the fact that they even gave him a points deduction for that was a little crazy to me. I wanted to give a reaction for the Lamont Roach and Isak Cruz fight, Pitbull, man. Good fight. A lot of people were thinking there's controversy at the end of it. And I guess that means it's controversy because some think that Roach was robbed. Robbed would be a stretch. Some think that Cruz was robbed. I think that's more realistic. And some think it was a draw. And I think that's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And the reason being, the way I break that down and the way I look at it is this, man. When you are the challenger, right? You're looking for, even though Isak doesn't have a major belt, but you're still a challenger. Isak is still A side. When you look at Roach, he's A side. And, he's the draw. He's the one that everybody was heavily invested in. Even the fans were behind Isak. When you're in that type of predicament, right, and you're a fighter, you have to come in. This is age old. And a lot of people hate it. They don't like it. Casual fans think that I'm tripping when I say it. But we remember Oscar De La Hoya, right? During De La Hoya's era, you had to kill a guy to take the belt. You had to take it. You couldn't go in and take someone's belt with a even Steven or a close performance. You gotta really, you have to really take that from the champion. And I don't think that Roach went in there and took it from Isak. Although I liked his strategy, I liked the things he was doing. Roach got caught early because he committed to walking Isak down too soon, right? So in the beginning of the fight, when he started, probably like the third round, after he got dropped, he started walking Isak down, right? And he started catching his hook and then hooking off that hook. And it was a good strategy, but he hurt, I think, Isak so early with that. He started to frustrate him with that hook, where Isak got out of his rhythm and started to kind of fight off his back foot a little later and kind of was wary and stayed away from Roach. But the problem is, when Isak was staying away from Roach in those middle rounds, Roach had already, I think, been down maybe 4-2. I had it 4-2 going into the seventh round. So if you had a 4-2, 5-1 in the first couple rounds, you probably, it's probably more accurate. And I think that's the way the judges had it, because I think Roach did a lot better. I think it was like 4-2 in the last 6 rounds. I think Roach won about 4 of those rounds, in my opinion. So if you have it 4-2 in the final 6 rounds in Roach's favor, and 4-2 in Isak's favor, to me, round wise, that looks like a draw to me, right? And I actually was going to bet a draw in that fight. So it looked like a draw to me, right? Based off of the point deduction from the ref to Isak. So that point deduction obviously wasn't I don't think it was real anyway, because when he deducted that point, or when they deducted that point, Isak hit him on his hip. It wasn't a low blow. He hit him on his side. It looked like it was a legal blow. So the fact that they even gave him a points deduction for that was a little crazy to me. And I thought that it was just like a get back point. It looked like he wanted to take the point for some reason, and he did. But either way, regardless of what you say, when you take that point into account and then you take the knockdown in the first half into account, you know what I mean? You get a draw. And I didn't have a problem with the draw. I think Roach being upset about it was due to the fact that, he wants one of those big wins, immediately. But I think the draw is a blessing for him in this fight, particular, because he doesn't get a loss, and he fought well enough where you even thought he won both fights, both Gervonta Davis's fight with him and this fight. So if you thought he won, and he didn't lose anything fanfare wise, he didn't gain the belt, but he didn't lose anything. So this allows him to move forward with his career and still be a bigger draw as he moves forward, because he didn't get that loss that some say he should have gotten in that fight. But if they really think that it was that controversial, I would like to see it again. It was definitely entertaining fight. So shout out to both fighters. I'm glad they got out of there, healthy and safe and so on. But the idea that it's just a highway robbery, I didn't agree with it, and I thought that those that are out there saying it, just you rooting for your fan of whoever, whether it be Roach or Pitbull, and regardless of what side of that line you're on, of course you're gonna say your guy got cheated. That's just the way it goes. But the other interesting topic would be let's see a guy that I'm in the gyms. I see him a lot. We don't know each other, but I see him a lot, and that's Cool Boy Steph or Stephen Fulton, right? He lost to Foster, Osheki Foster, and I think that Osheki definitely came prepared. You can't take anything away from him, but for whatever reason, I didn't see a focused Stephen Fulton. And people say that when you say that, you are taking away from the opponent's victory. Both can be true. Osheki Foster did everything he was supposed to do in that fight. My hats go off to him. He came prepared. That's his job. He did that. There's no excuses. He did what he's supposed to do. Stephen Fulton did not, because he was not prepared for this fight, but he did not look prepared physically. He looked like, as you saw on the scales, looked like he struggled to make weight, and he didn't make weight. He missed weight. And obviously, if you're spending your camp, which he probably was, trying to make weight, you're not working on strategy. You're not working on like the things that you may need to implement to beat an opponent like a Foster, right? So I'd like to see that fight down the line with a healthy Fulton. But one way or another, he got in the ring. He had to do what he had to do. Gutsy performance when it comes to getting to the bell, because he could have quit at any moment in that fight the way he was looking, but he made it through it. I definitely would like to see him in shape. I don't know what's going on with him, but I hope he cool. You know what I mean? Shouts go out to him, and glad everybody got out the fight, healthy or whatever. But I think he need to go within and figure out what he want to do next as far as boxing is concerned, and rededicate himself to his craft, because he's one of the top in the game when he chooses to be. You know what I mean? So hats go off to those guys, and hope they get it back and get it right. You know what I mean? But also much respect goes to Foster, who fought a great fight, did what he's supposed to do, but it's still an asterisk on this particular fight, because I want to see what he can do against a game ready opponent. And I don't think Fulton wouldn't say he was ready. His weight wouldn't say he was ready. And I don't think Foster would say he was ready. There was a lot of trash talk. So I know Foster felt good about winning because of all the back and forth, but Fulton wasn't ready. You know what I mean? I just don't think so.